And we can move to the next speaker. Next one is actually the most humble person from our community. He is a Chrome contributor. It's very difficult, I think. He is a Google developer expert in web, lead front-end developer at Mercury Development, Alexey Rodionov. And floor is yours.
Всем привет.
Hello everyone, as was said before, I have only 10 minutes and today I'm going to tell you about the opportunities of modern web platform. As it was mentioned, I am the official Google expert in web technology sphere, and let us talk about it. Any web developer works with declarative elements. We can do the same with using imperative approach. However, you see there are 3 lines instead of 2, because imperative approach is to tell how to do it and declarative what to do, which is easy. As soon as HTML5 appeared, it gave us declarative elements. We just put one element, HTML, and then you will see video player with all necessary buttons. If you look here, all the applications consist of ready-made components, different menus, buttons, and so on. If we want to make some other components besides HTML, we have web components. So this is the example how we work with usual geolocation in imperative approach. In declarative approach, it's the same number of lines. I can put the Google mark, I can risk center it with regard to its current position, and there is a great framework which is called Frame. For example, here we put a cylinder into the plane using HTML tag, and then we have 3D scene, and this is the 3D scene that you can see it in virtual reality. The components, not necessarily they could be visual, it could be non-visual components. However, they have some specific class, some specific function, imperative one. There are constructors that allow us to create the front end of our application, and the same could be used for framework. All applications for web platforms are progressive applications, and this looks this way. When you open it in browser suggests you to add this icon to the main screen. The same could be done with a desktop. How to do it? We need to add to your web application the file where you have a name, icon, and some other information about your application, which is not a difficult one. And there are some advantages. For example, it's cross-platform usage, and everywhere where we have browser, it could be worked. For example, using the helmet of virtual reality, they have this native behavior, and you cannot distinguish them from native applications. They do not require the installation. You just open the site, and everything will be updated automatically. They have a small size because everything is implemented in the browser, and you just use API. And this is the example. You can compare PWA with Android app and iOS. They are decentralized, and for their distribution, you don't have to any stores, don't have to have. However, you can pack them, and you can put it into Google Play App Store. So you can highlight the text, you can translate it into any language, and you have some links to pages. And this is safe because all this connection is deciphered, and they have a good system of permission. Also, we have low threshold here, so you don't have to buy a MacBook. You just browser will be enough, and you can develop it. Using PWA builders, you can pack your PWA so that you put it in the stores, but you will need backend. Backend has a good platform, Firebase, and you have everything here, database, hosting, and so on. It looks this way, declarative, GSA file, that could be used easily. And we can limit with a declarative approach who can write and read which collection. There is other interesting technology, GraphQL. The main aim is that the backend will give you some fields, and then it will be returned back to you, but with the meanings. Each field could have some of the restrictions, and then you receive the filtered and sorted request. How to do it? We have at backend some tools. One of them is called Prisma. You describe your model, and then the scheme will be generated for you. You switch on this empty database, and then it starts working as a real-time GraphQL proxy. So you don't have to write any requests. Everything works automatically. This is the interface. There are some other options where you could use some other schemes, and in your GraphQL you could connect some other schemes, database code, and so on. There is also the tool which allows to look at this GraphQL Voyager. I improved it. I add the search, so here you can see my request, and I also had the idea to visualize all of this in this three-dimensional area. And here we can speak also about virtual reality, and this is how you will see it in the virtual VR helmet. This is the logo, a 3D logo. All these tools are working tools, so you can use these links. When we work with any API, we have autocomplete, but it's not comfortable. So we can improve it, but then I saw the tool, and where using the clicks of the mouses, you can reach. Then I also worked with this tool. I add search, I add some triangles so that it would be easier to understand. Then I also added some description of each of the fields that we write at backend, then upload files, and we put it all into tables, and then we can even make our own form so that to visualize our data in a beautiful way. All these ideas are at GitHub, the specific trait, and there is a GraphQL Explorer 2.0, and I received some gratitude words for all the ideas that I suggested to them. And after that, I had a dream about the other idea. It would be good to have in this editor to have such interesting tool. I also thought it would be good to have opportunity to compare two schemes because they are being changed by time. For example, in red color we can have deleted fields and so on. These are the tools that show us some specific metrics, and I had the idea to make this, let's say, thermal map that would reflect all these changes. But if we look, GraphQL is similar to any other languages like TypeScript, and it means that we may not even write the script, but we can generate it using specific language. And these ideas are quite similar, and it would be good for any TypeScript library to do this autocomplete, where I can just put and make this valid request. And so today we speak about artificial intelligence and some other tools that we need in our developing area. This is an interesting tool. This tool is automatically generating requests at any stage. When we generate or when we edit some schemes, you can use the tools with AI. Well, basically, this is it from my side. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope that this tool will help you to understand how to make a good application. Thank you.